Well, good damn afternoon, Americans. Jericho Green here with you once again. Before I get started, I just had some fun with my son. We were driving back and we got into our neighborhood. So the rule is, once we're in the neighborhood, you can take your seatbelt off. Because, we're just driving around, where we live and shit like that. But he's like, Dad, can I drive back? So he sat on my lap and I worked the pedals. Occasionally had to grab the wheel too. Because guess what, guys? 9-year-olds do not know how to drive. But it was fun. It was fun for him to try to turn. And then, I let him kind of go. I was like, hey, man, do you see that car coming right there? You see that parked car? But it was a lot of fun. He said, he's like, Dad, I didn't realize how scary it looked up here when you were driving. I was like, yeah, man. So when you're telling me to look back there and watch this cool thing you can do with your finger, now you know, got to keep my eyes on the road, son. Keep your eyes on the road. But I think the episode, or the title of this episode should be The Nerve. Ilhan, the double Somali agent Omar, the one who wears the hijab on the job. I'm a firm believer that all the things she espoused is not coming from her, it's coming from her imam. Because her district does cover Little Mogadishu. I think it's the highest population of Somali people outside of Somalia. You see the videos of the mall in Little Mogadishu? Holy shit. So this little ungrateful shit had the nerve to say that America is turning into one of the worst countries in the world. She said we used to be a beacon of hope and now we have our military in the streets. Well, you dumbass, you brother fucker. The reason the military is in the streets is because of stupid ass progressives like you. You don't champion law and order. Who champion inclusivity and diversity and as many Somali immigrants as you can get here? We did you the biggest favor in the world. We plucked you from abject poverty and violence and famine. Do you not know where you used to live, Ilhan? You used to live in Somalia. That's the world's taint. That's the world's skin bridge. I knew I recognized you, Ilhan Omar. I knew it. I couldn't place it for the longest time, but it just came to me. You were one of those little kids who used to sit next to Sally Struthers on those commercials when they would tell us for just 70 cents a day. You were the one sitting there with the flies buzzing around your eyes and mouth. And then she says, and I'll put a link in the description box to this video so you can see it your damn self. Then she says, I grew up in a dictatorship and I never saw things like this. Bitch! Are you saying that America 2025 is worse than Somalia? One of the poorest, war-torn shitholes on this planet, and you have the nerve to say that America is worse than it? Well, I know what you guys are thinking. If America's worse than Somalia and you don't like it here, you are free to get the fuck out of here and go back to Somalia. You can go back to Somalia and eat sun-dried goat penis. You can go back to Somalia and you see those videos where the cow pisses and the African people treat it like it's a fucking basin full of water and they just splash their face with hot from the tap frothy cow piss? Well, Jericho, actually those people aren't from Somalia. Actually, I don't give a shit. You want to go back to that, Ilhan Omar? Here you have it good. You probably have a driver, you have a stipend, you make over $150,000, I think it's $175,000 a year, plus whatever you're skimming off the top or what you have coming through NGOs and all this other bullshit. You're an elected official. You get to go to Washington, D.C. every day. You have security in this huge, opulent office with a staff. And you think that is worse than blowing a poison-tipped dart into the neck of your dinner every night? We have our military, and actually it's the reserves. Don't act like there's tanks and F-22s flying over downtown Los Angeles, although I wouldn't be mad at that. But that's not what's happening. But it's because of people like you. It's because of your ilk. It's because of Gavin Bang Your Wife Newsom. I bet when Ilhan Omar, if she's ever around Gavin Newsom, she's probably not even touching the ground. Because you know how these progressives who scream America is racist and the most dangerous people in the country are white men, you know they love them some white men. And Gavin Newsom is the leader of the leftist Democrat white man. I bet her staff, Ilhan Omar, has to follow her around with a towel and a tarp when she's around Gavin Bang Your Wife Newsom. Your leader, the one you have wet dreams about being president, it's his fault that the military is in our streets. And that's not indicative of a bad country, but it's definitely indicative of a bad city ran by somebody just like you. And I've said this a long time ago. When you come here as an immigrant, you need to have a certain level of shut the fuck upness. How are you going to let that come out of your mouth? If we sent you back to your home country, you probably couldn't even look your husband, brother in the eye. You're probably only allowed to speak after sundown or some crazy Sharia law bullshit like that. That's what she wants. Isn't that ironic? The sheep is helping the wolf get access to the lambs. They want Sharia law. She wants Sharia law. Where she represents wants that archaic bullshit. But you have the nerve to fix your goat curry eating mouth to say that America is becoming the worst country in the world, the unmitigated gall that this woman has. These people, they've got to be mentally ill. There has to be something wrong upstairs. Look at me now driving around in peace and comfort. In your country, I couldn't do this. If I did, it would be a dirt road. I'm driving a truck right now, so there'd probably be 5 or 6 dudes in the back with AK-47s wearing the t-shirts of the team that didn't win the Super Bowl or the Stanley Cup or the World Series. Like I said yesterday, I'm driving by a Ferrari right now. Boy, America sucks. I just drove past a yellow Ferrari. This country sucks. But, as I was going to say, as I said yesterday, these people have to be either Oscar-worthy actors. Daniel Day-Lewis, move over. Give your Oscar back, because these politicians got it down pat. So either they are some of the greatest actors that the human race has ever seen, or they honestly believe this shit and there's something wrong with them mentally. Because as she said herself, she came from a dictatorship. She grew up in one. We saved you from it. But you grew up in a dictatorship, so you should know what one looks like and feels like and sounds like. And then you still say some disingenuous nonsense like this. Now, if there was a lottery, but this time, in this lottery, you're not just putting your name in there. Everybody else puts a name in there, and if you get the most votes, you have to leave. So if there was a lottery drop-off in your state, you could write Ilhan Omar on a little piece of paper and drop it in there. And when they count up all the Ilhan Omar votes, you have to go back to Somalia. I mean, we're doing you a favor. This is becoming the worst country in the world. We don't want you to be here for that. So we're going to preemptively remove you from the path of harm. You're an elected official. You're a congresswoman. We can't have you living in the worst country in the world. So we'll send you back home to your people. Maybe you can become an elected official there if they let women speak. If you don't have to fucking wear a Carhartt burqa in the hottest part of the damn world. Meet me in the comments. Talk to me, Goose. Are you as flabbergasted as I am that Ilhan, the double Somali agent Omar, would actually have the nerve to say that shit about the greatest country in the world that has provided her a life of wealth and notoriety? Or am I tripping? Jericho, you're reading too much into it. She's just blowing off some steam. You know, some people did something. Before I get out of here, I got to talk to you about Patriot Protect. These people go to over 100 websites to make sure that your information is scrubbed from the internet. They sell it to the highest bidder. It's like an information auction. It's not a question of will it happen to you? It's a question of how many times are you going to let it continue to happen? Every time you go to a store, you swipe your card or you tap your phone, they have your information and it is gone. Whoever is going to pay the most. But after they remove your information, your personal information from the internet, they continue to go back. There is maintenance. They're checking over and over to make sure that it stays that way. You need to go to patriotprotect.com/Jericho. And if you enter promo code Jericho, all caps, you will get 15% off of your annual subscription. But you know how it goes. I try to be done with the left, but they just won't let me. I'm out.